There is an overwhelming amount of advice for small or new content creators that is out there. It might be the most oversaturated market of content ever.
I'm going to show you how to create a brand new YouTube channel.
Video, I'm going to be going over how to monetize your YouTube videos step by step.
Here's how to make a killer YouTube thumbnail to blow up your channel.
Want to increase video retention for your videos or for your clients' videos? Here's how.
This 2-minute hack will change everything. I'm going to show you the hidden settings that most creators don't even know exist. Default tags.
Monetize and making money, which is my main personal channel, Make Money Matt, right here. As you can see, this channel makes a lot of money every single month.
So I heard that you want to start a YouTube channel.
Retention editing, thumbnails and titles, selecting a niche, but above all else, just actually posting. Duh. I mean, this goes for anything in life, really. Packing for your big move, committing to losing weight, socializing better. How do you do literally anything? I'm just a little baby and I don't know.
Goo goo gaga.
You just start. But here's the thing. My best self exists behind potential, and if I never actually strive to meet that potential, well then, I never have to face disappointment. Yeah, that seems easier. So after years of excuses, anxiety, and paralysis, I said screw it. I'm gonna talk to a girl. I mean, make a video. But how do I do that? Well, you write it, then you record it. I'm doing that part right now. And then you edit it.
I'm actually doing that part right now too.
So I self-imposed a 1-a-week deadline, and I did this by myself. No AI, no outsourcing. In my year of doing this, I've hit a whopping 1,000 subscribers. Nonetheless, I think this is a pretty good story and a pretty good lesson, so let's back up to last June. I'm sitting here, coasting through life, and then I turn 23. If I don't lock in right now, my life is over. Now look, I wasn't a loser. I had friends, I had an apartment. So I say. This pit begins to grow in my stomach. I'm not living that bad of a life, but I've never actually taken that jump and worked towards my goals. If I don't start making YouTube videos now, I never will. Nothing is stopping me besides myself. I found that a lot of the time when I got an idea to make a video, I would stumble into my own limitations, like I can't get this edit right, or the audio is not good enough, or the recording doesn't look good enough to me, or I can't nail down this script, so I'm just gonna sit on that idea and make something else. And over time, I accumulate 20, 30, 40, 50 ideas of things I wanna make, things I wanna talk about, to the point where it gets overwhelming. It's like, how do I even start? How do I do any of this? So now it's like, okay, well, what video do I make? I guess I should just pick one of the 50 ideas I have. No, I saw a gross AI video on Twitter, so I'll talk about that.
And you posted this comment?
Yes.
What? And why are they there in court?
I already hate AI, and at the time, it was a pretty trendy subject. Maybe it still is. Overall, I think this video is funny, but it's poorly paced. It's 26 minutes, and I spend a lot of time rambling. In my early videos, I have so many amateur mistakes, from bad lighting, bad audio, poor editing, being bald.
I thought being bald was a requirement.
Wait a minute. It got 450 views? Are you kidding me? That's only 17,550 people away from filling up the stadium at the University of Delaware, and by God, that's an achievement to me. I posted a video, I'm celebrating, I get to relax now. Oh, it's already Wednesday and I need to have another video out by Saturday? No, yeah, okay, I won't have any free time this week, that's fine. It's time to talk about politics. Specifically, the politics of Roku City. The title, The Politics of Roku City, flashbanged into my brain a few years ago, and from then on, I've just held on to it until I could turn it into something else, and I decided to force myself.
Me personally, I would not want to live where a giant robot and a giant beetle have been fighting for literal years. The government of Roku City seems to not want to do much about this.
So, did that video do well? 1,300 views. Okay, I have got to carry this momentum forward. 450 to 1.3K. How can I pump this up?
Attention parents and grandparents of young children. Gerber Life is accepting applications for their affordable grow-up plan.
Did you know that the Gerber Baby Life Grow-Up plan was basically a scam in certain ways, and they also got into huge legal trouble? Well, in this really interesting video, I talk about... I wanted to try something new with the background.
That's what you said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.
In fairness to me, I did not have a lot of space to work with in this apartment, and I was just working with the tools available to me. I wanted a flat background, There was not a very good way to do that in my apartment. I didn't have much space that was like an extended solid color, like that could fit me like a frame. So I should have just stuck with where I was before, but you know, props for trying. But how did the views do? 450 to 1300 to 400. Okay, that's minus 50. But okay, the video had bad lighting, like it's not that big of a deal. I think that how ugly that video is really overshadows the fact that it's incredibly well written and probably my most polished video to that point. My channel would really hold a level of inconsistency in presentation and analytics for the entire duration of this experiment. On one hand, I needed to be consistent and high quality with presentation if I actually wanted to invite viewers to get into my channel. On the other hand, I really wanted to just do my 1 week deadline because, again, the mistakes that I was paying so much attention to were what was preventing me from creating in the first place. So it's a double-edged sword, but ultimately I think it was the right choice for me in that moment. I had to just deal with my quarter life crisis. And I kept getting better, but I still struggled with perfect consistency at a rate that I would have liked. I record my videos on my iPhone, and I use this Blue Yeti mic that in my other videos you can see me holding. I put it on a stand so that maybe I could get my audio to be a little more consistent, because what I tend to do is move my hands when I'm holding the mic, and like the audio levels are dipping, like going up and down because I just can't sit still. So that's definitely something that like actually probably harmed my audio. Sometimes too, an audio recording would be like really bad and I just would not have the time or even the will to re-record. So I would just use the iPhone recording, which isn't terrible, but you know, it could be a lot better. Sometimes I didn't like the way I delivered lines, or I'd misspeak in a way that wasn't intentional to bait comments. And instead of re-recording, I would just deal with it. I also did fix stuff like that sometimes. Again, it's just about consistency. In my biased opinion, my best skill at the start of this experiment was writing. But I wasn't really unable to do anything that I needed to do to start. I always knew I could make YouTube videos. I was just paralyzed by my own standards, and I couldn't live up to my expectations yet, so I can't do it yet. So I would do smaller things or things I half cared about, because then I didn't have to put my whole heart into it and feel disappointed when it obviously didn't work out. But why YouTube? Why is YouTube even a goal for me? When I was a kid, I loved this Pokemon YouTuber, Leroy. He recorded his gameplay on his Nintendo DS with a camcorder, and he didn't really make anything besides like basic playthroughs. One time though, he uploaded a house tour. I remember so vividly as a kid watching it, seeing this like side of his life and him like choosing to share that with us, for some reason just really resonated with me. And I'm not alone in this, because all of the comments are saying similar things. Damn, I watched this when I was a young boy, but alas, I am now an adult. As a kid, to me, YouTube seemed like this magic land of endless possibility where you could express yourself however you wanted, and that was like amazing to me. Because of this love, I even poured my heart into a really dope video about YouTube Rewind and analyzing some of the controversy around that, and the video flopped. Even though at the time I was like so sure that was my best video.
Nick A30, We Never Gave Up, and Jubilee Media, believe it or not, which we all know right now.
There will be lots of times in like trying to grow as a creator that you'll be like, oh my gosh, like this is my best work. You know, I did so much research, I improved this, and it's gonna pop off. And then it doesn't, and it's like, dang, like, do I have a misunderstanding of, you know, my target audience? Do I have a misunderstanding of what I need to improve on? Stuff like that. It's so funny too, because I think that as a creator, like the process means a lot more to us than it should. For example, in that YouTube Rewind video, I went through each YouTube Rewind and I like counted who was a YouTuber and who was a celebrity. And I went to all these like Russian YouTube channels and, you know, whatever. And I figured out, you know, actually go watch that video if you want to see me do that. But it's like in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I spent so much time doing all this work and like extracurricular activity to add to this video. But it's like, if no one gets to 18 minutes into that 21-minute video, no one is going to know that I did that. I keep calling this an experiment, so what if I tried to look at it from a learning perspective? What if I really dove into the analytics? Retention graphs provide a good basis of like early editing and if a hook worked or if my pacing was off. But honestly, I couldn't tell you if a video did worse because of its CTR or its retention rate. My only control in this experiment was the deadline, and so because of that, I couldn't really pin down like what I should be improving. So this led me to spending a lot of time that was maybe unnecessary. Like instead of prioritizing better audio and putting my fucking mic on a stand, I would literally get so neurotic about thumbnails, and I was so sure that my thumbnails were bad. For some videos, I have made upwards of 20 thumbnails. And I for at least every single one of my videos, I've probably made like at least 4 or 5, probably around 10 on average. You can go see on like, I think Mr. Beast's creepy website, but like I'll show some. It is, there was no world where like some of the thumbnail changes that I was making were actually going to contribute to like the video catching more than it would, you know? And I just believed in my heart, like all I gotta do is find this magic thumbnail or magic title and maybe it'll grow. And you know what? Maybe that's true. There were times that I saw a video kind of stagnate, and like 2 days after I uploaded it, then I would put, it would like start shooting up. Those a lot of the time were examples of like a really obvious shift and not like these minute, like changing some lighting and changing a color and whatever. Another reason that the deadline was a double-edged sword is that I shaved down some videos that probably could have been a lot better if I just spent even 2 weeks on them instead of 1. And I mean, God, like I already had no free time, but I would write 20 to 30 minute videos from like Monday to Wednesday, and I would record it on Thursday, and then I would like get home from work on Friday and just edit it all night. And sometimes I wouldn't be able to finish, and I would go to bed and I would wake up on Saturday and I would spend my whole Saturday editing and then making a thumbnail and making, you know, a lot of thumbnails. And I don't know that that was good for me. What is craziest about that is I had plenty of videos that I scrapped halfway through the week. Like, for example, I had written a pretty long analysis of the themes in the movie Half Nelson, which I loved. It was a very fun video to write, but then a comedy video started to pick up in the middle of that week. And the last few times I had done like a more in-depth film analysis, those videos had not done well, and I just couldn't nail down the Half Nelson video. Like I had all these sections, but I wanted to like circle out the video in a way that felt right, and I just couldn't. And instead of sitting on it for one more day, I was like, I'm gonna scrap the whole thing. I'm gonna go desperately doom scroll TikTok so I can find like an easy thing to make a commentary video about and do that. And the thing is, sometimes that would pay off, sometimes it would not. And ultimately, I just feel like, not even that those videos are bad. I think a lot of those videos are some of my funniest videos because writing out of like this desperation, I think deadlines, I don't know, I strive in that pressure, but I could have made better videos that might have caught a more specific audience. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked if like a lot of people made reviews about the movie Half Nelson. I don't even know if there's an audience for that. There certainly wasn't an audience for an in-depth thematic analysis of It's What's Inside or Touch. Or maybe there was, and my thumbnail sucked so bad that nobody clicked on it. See what I mean? It's like, how do I know what I'm doing wrong and right? The thing with me too is like, I would flip-flop very heavily between like wanting to kind of iron down a niche, but also like not wanting to restrict myself. So I wanted to make like movie reviews that were more analytical, and I also wanted to make videos where I just like made fun of some bad movies and tried to make people laugh. And I, you know, made fun of some TikTokers, and I talked about AI a few times. And I also just wanted to make like those silly videos like the skateboarding bulldog or the Publix video. And in my head, for some reason, this was like so serious, like finding a way to brand it or something. But in hindsight, like I can just appreciate the variety, and I'm looking at it like, oh, like what I wanted to do was talk. I wanted to express myself, and frankly, I did that. This is so random, but I committed to some really stupid, like running plot lines, like Nostalgia Critic type shit. There's like a meta version of me who I believe at this point is trying to kill me because I yelled at him or something. Or like I don't remember. And to be honest, like I have to think way too hard to find where I even started these stories and continued them. And it was just stupid. Don't even get me started on Buck Rutledge, dude. Okay, actually, I think Buck Rutledge is funny, and I'm not going to explain it. I sound like a jackass right now, but Buck Rutledge, I have referenced in like 15 videos in various different ways. I've brought him up by name. He's left comments on my videos. There's a whole ARG going on for Buck Rutledge, is what I'm telling you. And you can feel free to participate in that or not. But, you know, it's happening. It's there. And nobody cares. I made a few videos about the Twitter account, creepy.com. I do love that account. I love poking fun at it. I made a few videos about AI conspiracy theories and kind of weaved a narrative through that. Buck Rutledge, I believe, was actually born in the first one of those. So the thing that I want to say, though, is I actually don't believe that I've uploaded a bad video, and maybe that's delusional, but I genuinely believe that there's like entertainment value in all of my videos, regardless of like these some mistakes. So like I can say about my very first video, like the AI one, that I was kind of being more comedic, it drags at certain points, but also at certain points I think it is really fucking funny. And like the Gerber baby life, it's ugly, but it's a well-written video. And a lot of the videos, I think, I really just struggled with pacing. I think that I didn't know, like I was kind of loosey-goosey with video lengths and ironing out points. Like for some videos, I'd be like, ooh, I need to shave down that paragraph. Then for other ones, I'd write like 4 paragraphs about the same thing, and it's like, why did you do that? You're supposed to be like a good writer or something, and you're fucking yourself over in the writing process. But I don't know, like it's an experiment. It was practice. Now I'm in the end game. If I don't succeed now, I'm gonna explode. So I'm really hoping this pays off. I have such fond memories too of these weeks, and there were other videos that I did spend a few weeks on while I made other videos. So like I did a Halloween video and a Christmas video. I love holiday specials, so I talked about holiday specials in both of them. I am genuinely nostalgic about those. Like making those really, cornily enough, made me feel more festive. I look back at my Hippo Miss video where I talk about Cartoon Network Christmas Rocks, which I have right there. Very cool. I loved that DVD as a kid, and I was so excited to talk about it. I had wanted to do that for years. And that video, like, it didn't even do very well, but like I went back and watched that video, and I was like, "Fuck, like, that's a video I'm happy with." And even if it didn't do well, I can look back on it and just be like, I still made something that I'm proud of, and like that's enough, you know? That really is something that you just have to accept. Like with that, and like what I said earlier about like the YouTube Rewind video, I shaved my head bald for an Avatar The Last Airbender joke, and that video got like 150 views. So was it worth it to shave my head bald, or to look through a bunch of Russian and Japanese and Icelandic YouTube channels to figure out if people were celebrities or YouTubers? Hell no, it wasn't worth it. Do I regret it? No, not at all. And like, they're still there. I'm not gonna delete them. So this video is genius because it basically just acts as like a massive shameless self-plug. Yeah. So all that to say, God, I was looking at analytics wrong. I wasn't extracting the right data. Fuck analytics, bro. They make you competitive with yourself in such a toxic way. Oh no, this video has a red arrow. I suck. Now I know I just said fuck analytics, but for the sake of this being an experiment, here are my top 10 performing videos of the experiment. And actually most of these make sense to me. I think that all these videos are pretty good, and they had more smooth weeks or more like time and care put into the writing process or editing process than usual. The ExoKitty trailer analysis getting 20,000 views was so funny to me because that was like the most analytically pointed video I think I had ever done, and it actually like kind of worked. I really liked these new Rockstars YouTube videos where they like analyze, superhero movie trailers. I was like, oh yo, I could corner the market. I could do this for like the To All the Boys I Ever Loved verse, which I had already made like 4 videos about where I was just like reviewing them. But no one is analyzing the ExoKitty trailer this in depth. I'll do it. I'll corner this market that might or might not exist. It existed, and I got 20,000 views. Now, the funniest part of this story is I was planning on repeating that success and making a video analyzing the Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 trailer. And then that trailer came out, and I didn't do that. So, nice job, dude. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, you had a slam dunk, and you didn't even do it. I will be talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, probably at some point. Maybe I'll just make a massive retrospective of the whole To All the Boys I've Ever Loved verse. That might be fun. I don't know. My Skateboarding Bulldog video, Deep Dive of Arcane, and Publix video all had smooth weeks with like no adjustments needed, and those turned out really well. So I'm pretty happy that like their performance reflected the smoothness of the process. Interestingly, these videos where I made fun of Christian TikToks and the Gen X TikTok like Rise Up, those were videos that I had like scrapped another video for. It just goes to show you again, like the analytics and the process, it only tells you so much. And like, we're always going to be looking at it with this bias of like, I know, you know, what I did behind the scenes or like why a video might have done well, but nobody else knows that. Now, all that being said, let's look at the top 10 worst performers. I hit a really bad streak after hitting 1,000 subscribers, got a partner, and then my videos started like going back to piss poor performance. Like this video got 80 views. My worst performing video was one of the last 2 that I made. And I think that video is really funny. It's around the same length and it's like the same kind of style as another video where I make fun of a similar movie that got 2,200 views and is one of the best performers. So, you know, I watched every Paul Mescal video. Being in the bottom 10 really hurts my soul. But that's just another example of like the extracurricular work that you put into the process of making a video. It just really has nothing to do. Like it has something to do, but like, you know, overall, it has very little to do with the overall success of a video. Okay, that's analytics, but there's actually another form of analytics, and that's audience response, mostly comments. Comments are data. I also think for a lot of people, comments are anxiety. They are a wall that you have to get over. They are something that prevent people from making content, like the idea that you're gonna get hate comments. For what I struggled with in retaining viewers on a video to video basis, when I did have a video that caught and did well, I think that I did a good job of connecting with the audience, and I got so much positive feedback. Generally, people on YouTube are actually so nice. That isn't reserved to like genre or niche either. Some of my movie reviews that did better had such positive, nice comments about how great the video was and how I was going to blow up on YouTube. Just keep at it. So much encouragement. My comedy videos, people would say, oh my God, how are you a small YouTuber? You're so funny. And I'm not trying to suck my own dick. I'm saying like people are really so supportive to small creators, I think generally. Now, are there going to be hate comments? Yes. I've been called ugly. I've even been called fat. Someone said, how many of you want to bet this guy's a virgin? 1 million. I wish 1 million people thought I was a virgin. Then I might have more subscribers. Do you guys think I'm a virgin? Don't use my background as a hint. There are also people that are going into full-on psychosis that leave, I don't know what word to say to be respectful, comments on my videos that are just actual psychosis. Like people are saying things that are not true, and they sound, they need to share those things with their family. And getting comments like that is an interesting experience. I've also gotten some really blistering vitriol, like just deep hatred, like paragraphs and paragraphs in one comment. I've also had people morally grandstand over me or correct me on things that I actually talk about later in the video, and they would have known that if they watched the video. It happens. But even in those cases, those people are going to move on from that video, and they're not going to think about you, you know, like you're not going to stick in their mind, even if, you know, you put them in a bad mood. But if you put people in a good mood, they might remember you. And that's a valuable thing to know, I guess. So TLDR, if you aren't making videos because you're scared of like hate comments or backlash or being judged or looking cringe or whatever it is, nobody cares about you. Even if you piss off a random stranger, like for all we know, they might be a Looney Tunes character. And God forbid I let a cartoon character affect my mood. My penultimate thought, my ultimate takeaway in this video is that I'm so happy and proud of myself. That's genuine. I don't think anything is wrong with my content. At every single corner, can you improve? Can you get better? Yes. Does it mean your content is worthless or unengaging or meaningless? No. I feel so happy to have come to a place within myself where I'm finding my voice and learning the things that I want to talk about, because I think I know what I want to talk about, but then I write it down and I'm like, actually, I don't think I want to say that out loud. You know, finding that rhythm within yourself is, I think, really amazing, and it's part of this journey, and it's why, you know, you shouldn't use AI to do this. Fuck AI. It's a personal journey, and that's really what it was for me. Now that I'm comfortable and I've kind of been through the ringer with this, I'm removing the deadline from myself. I'm gonna spend a little more time on making videos that feel satisfying to make, that pay a little attention to analytics, but also not enough that I'm sacrificing what I want to be talking about or doing, sacrificing length, adding unnecessary length. I'm gonna really hone in on each part of the process, and I'm not gonna rush myself. If you are holding back that urge to create, if you think that you don't know how to start, you probably do. Your ability to start or willingness to learn aren't actually what's stopping you. accept your limitations, start with what you know, and go from there. There's nothing wrong with being new or being an amateur, and there's nothing wrong with trying. It's not cringe. And I'm not saying you should do it the way that I did it. You probably 1000% should not do it the way I did it, unless your brain is exactly like mine, in which case, go. If I, a burnt out stoner who works 5 days a week, can find the time, so can you, I would hope. So how do you make a YouTube video? You just do it. Thanks so much for watching, gang. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to smash that like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment where you talk about your YouTube journey with me, and check out another one of my videos, maybe one of the 30 videos that I talked about in this video, #ad. Have a great day or night. Hippo out.